We pick up Act 3, Scene 4 at line 100. Othello has just exited in a rage because Desdemona has been unable to produce the handkerchief that he gave her. Desdemona is left feeling shaken and confused at having seen a new and unpredictable side to her husband. Even though Emilia has shown sympathy for Desdemona's plight, she has failed to do the one thing which would instantly clear up this misunderstanding, i.e., to reveal that Iago is behind the whole theft. Iago and Cassio enter in the middle of a conversation. Iago is clearly still egging Cassio on to press Desdemona to plead his case with Othello. There is no other way. 'Tis she must do it. And lo, the happiness! Go and importune her. Cassio does what he is told. Madam, my former suit, I do beseech you that by your virtuous means I may again exist and be a member of his love, whom I, with all the office of my heart, entirely honour. He tells her that he doesn't want to waste time. He would rather be put out of his misery now if his crime has been so heinous that his past service, his current emotional distress, or the prospect of his future service are insufficient to return him to Othello's favour. If my offence be of such mortal kind that nor my service past, nor present sorrows, nor purposed merit in futurity can ransom me into his love again, but to know so must be my benefit. He will have to come to terms with it and find out what else fortune may have to offer in terms of a career. Desdemona says, however, that now is not the time. Note that there is a return to music imagery once more, as she communicates that her words of support for him will strike a discordant note with her husband if she tries at the moment. Alas, thrice gentle Cassio, my advocation is not now in tune. She says that Othello is in a strange temper, and that if his looks had altered to the same extent as his mood, she would not recognise him. My lord is not my lord, nor should I know him were he in favour as in humour altered. She assures him, as all the angels may be her witness, that she has spoken for you all my best, and even to the extent that she has put herself in the firing line of his anger for having been so outspoken, and stood within the blank of his displeasure for my free speech. She finishes by saying that he must be patient, and that she will do what she can, when she can. Iago pretends to be shocked. Is my lord angry? He asks disingenuously. Emilia confirms that this is indeed the case, and Iago professes to be surprised at this news, only because he has seen him in the heat of battle, when the cannon hath blown his ranks or his armies into the air, and even then he didn't lose his cool. It must be something of moment, or something really bad, indeed, if he be angry, he warns. Note how Iago is subtly building up the magnitude of Desdemona's crime here, of which she is still unaware. Iago exits in order to find Othello, leaving Desdemona with Cassio and Emilia. Desdemona has been lulled into a false sense of security by Iago's words, momentarily reassured that the problem that hath puddled or disturbed and muddied his clear spirit is something sure of state, to do with Othello's job, either back at home in Venice or here in Cyprus. She observes that men's natures wrangle with inferior things, though great ones are their object. In other words, if men have major concerns, they will displace this worry and will, instead, pick quarrels over trivial things. She blames herself for expecting too much from Othello and for falsely accusing him of unkindness, saying that it is too much to hope that husbands will always be as attentive to their wives as they were on their wedding night. Nay, we must think men are not gods, nor of them look for such observancy as fits the bridal. Beshrew me much, Emilia, I was, unhandsome warrior as I am, arraigning his unkindness with my soul, but now I find I had suborned the witness, and he's indicted falsely. Note how this speech not only echoes back through the play as Desdemona remembers how Othello greeted her after an absence of weeks at sea with the epithet, "my fair warrior," but also from the language of the courtroom that she uses, foreshadows the way in which she will shortly be falsely accused herself, put on trial, and convicted. Emilia, however, is not so sure about Desdemona's appraisal of the situation, and she hopes that it is, instead, no conception nor no jealous toy, or fantasy or jealous fancy concerning you that is bothering him. Desdemona responds that she never gave him cause or reason to feel any jealousy. Unfortunately, counters Emilia, jealous souls will not be answered so. They are not ever jealous for the cause, but jealous for they are jealous. 'Tis a monster begot upon itself, born on itself. In other words, people who have a naturally jealous disposition never need a reason. They're jealous because they're jealous. Note how Emilia's personification of jealousy as a monster begot upon itself, born on itself, echoes Iago's own description of it from the previous scene as a green-eyed monster which doth mock the meat it feeds on. Praying that heaven may keep that monster from Othello's mind, Desdemona exits accompanied by Emilia to seek her husband out, adding as she goes that if she finds him in a calmer and more receptive frame of mind, she will move Cassio's suit and seek to effect it to my uttermost. As the two women leave, Bianca, Cassio's mistress, enters. Cassio asks her what she is doing away from home, as, "I'faith, sweet love, I was coming to your house." Bianca, however, is not in a good mood. She's upset that she's not seen Cassio for a week. What? Keep a week away? 7 days and nights? 8 hours? And lovers' absent hours more tedious than the dial 8 times? O weary reckoning! A score is another word for 20, so 8 is 168, the exact number of hours in 1 week. She's been counting the hours which have dragged horribly, as they always do, when you're in love and your lover is away from you. Note how Shakespeare's sense of time is somewhat flexible here. How can Cassio have spent so long away from Bianca when they only arrived on the island a day or so ago? More to the point, how on earth can Desdemona and Cassio have had the opportunity to conduct an affair in the first place, when they sailed to Cyprus in separate ships and were in the company of others after they landed, until Othello's own arrival mere minutes later? At the end of the day, though, it really doesn't matter, and we shouldn't get too hung up on any inconsistencies. Shakespeare's time scheme is one that expands and contracts according to his dramatic purpose in the moment, and shouldn't detract in any way from our enjoyment of the play. Cassio excuses his long absence, explaining that he has had a lot weighing heavily on his mind, but that he fully intends to make it up to her. "Pardon me, Bianca, I have this while with leaden thoughts been pressed, but I shall in more continuate time strike off this score of absence." In the meanwhile, he says, handing over Desdemona's handkerchief as he does so, "Take me this work out, or copy this embroidery." "Oh, I see," says Bianca, "this is some token from a newer friend," which explains why she hasn't seen him in so long. Cassio is outraged that she should think he's been fooling around behind her back, and that he's given her some other woman's love token. He responds in very strong language, "Go to, woman, throw your vile guesses in the devil's teeth from whence you have them. You are jealous now that this is from some mistress, some remembrance. No, by my faith, Bianca." And he confesses that he doesn't actually know to whom it belongs, just that he found it in his room and would like the embroidery copied before he has to return it to its rightful owner. He then sends her away because, ironically, he doesn't think it will do him any favours if Othello sees him womaned or accompanied by a female. Bianca is not entirely satisfied with his explanation and begs him that she may walk a little further with him so that he can tell her if he will see her that night. Cassio tells her that "'tis but a little way that I can bring you, for I attend here," but he reassures her that he will see her soon. She reluctantly agrees, saying that if that's the case, then she'll just have to accept it. The pair exit. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments section below, and I'll do my best to answer them. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos on English language topics and exam techniques, and English literature texts.